Okay, here we are. Cryptic Codex. We're reacting to some conspiracy TikToks. Some I'm gonna agree with, some I'm not. Let's go through them.
We look at their rockets. This is how they claim they get into outer space. It's these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that.
The only thing that's been to space is your imagination.
I mean, it could be that.
The Earth is a sphere. They show us pictures of a sphere, of a circle. It's a perfect circle. And then they come out and they say, well, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a sphere that's flattened at both poles, so it's more of an oval shape. It actually bulges out south of the equator, as well as being flattened at the poles. So it's more pear-shaped.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator. A little chubbier. A little chubbier. Yeah. Chubbier is a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
So now it's pear-shaped.
So what is this then?
Why are all of these official NASA photos and videos showing perfect spheres when it's actually an oblate spheroid or a pear-shaped spheroid?
So we've
they can't
never
get their
seen
story straight. The reason they keep changing it is that to fit the model, they have to change the shape of the Earth. South of the equator is larger than north of the equator because lines of longitude that just extend outwards, they don't contract back. So they concede that in their pear model. They say, well, the side bulges out south of the equator, it's bigger south of the equator. Yeah, it is, because it's flat. But instead of admitting that, they just, make tweaks to their model as time goes on. They say that the ball Earth tilts back 23.5 degrees. That's another tweak they made because we can see Polaris, which is right over the North Pole, from 23.5 degrees south latitude. Shouldn't be able to see that on a ball. So they just tilt the Earth back and then okay, now you can see it. And so they come up with explanations in reverse like this. Damage control, reverse engineered explanations.
Stuff has changed, right? A lot has changed. You hear stuff and then they go back on their word.
Instead of having to build a solid model like that, this system does away with Christopher Columbus and goes for a flat one. At the moment, this ordinary piece of artwork is being looked at by the television camera. But the magic comes when the picture from that camera is fed into this device with its control box. So, instantly, I can get a round world, or if I haven't, or better still, a randomly turning square world. So with this device, you can instantly try out different ideas. It'll be used in television programs and adverts where the artist wants three-dimensional.
So that was the start, and then now it's this. I mean, and you've seen, NASA have openly admitted that, they have to do it in parts, and they create like this, right? They create it. So maybe we've never actually seen Earth. So, but then we've seen apparently from the space station. So what is that then? And potentially none of those pictures are real. I want to be this good at editing.
Does anyone want to tell me how in 1927 Universal Studios came up with this picture of the world when the first picture of the world wasn't available until the 1960s through NASA? Almost 40 years later? How did Universal Studios know that this is what the world looked like? Especially from space, when we hadn't been to space yet. Does anyone know? Anyone want to guess?
The reason for lying about the shape of the Earth and making it into a ball is because when you turn it into a ball, you can cut off any land you want and keep it hidden. For example, we will take this map, we will cut out a piece, and we will take this flat piece and wrap it around a ball. Now this is where I tell you that this is all there is. You only go to destinations that are on the globe because you now believe that's all there is. But we still have all the land that I cut off earlier. It's seriously that easy. And when you consider it, it really is a plausible reason to lie.
That does make sense.
Read between the lines. Take a listen.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going to Mars,
what does that mean?
One of the next series of steps that humans do. The first step should be going back to the moon.
This is forever stuck in my brain. So we used to have that technology, but we destroyed it, and it's a painful process to bring that back. Like, what does that even mean? So that little aluminium thing got there, and it would be painful to build that back. Okay.
For a number of technical reasons and exploration reasons, and then after that, Mars, maybe high orbit in Venus atmosphere, maybe going to Europa. There's all kinds of targets to go to, places of interest in our solar system. The only limit to human future is in our own imagination.
Look how nervous he looks. Like, you hear the way he's talking as well. He don't seem confident in what he's saying.
Have you ever heard about Admiral Richard Byrd's mysterious trip to Antarctica? This American naval officer led a massive military expedition to the southernmost continent in December 1946. They called it Operation High Jump. Imagine this: 4,700 Navy and Marine personnel, aircraft carriers, battleships, and 33 aircraft, all heading to the icy unknown. Why such a large force for a simple exploration mission? Admiral Byrd's mission was to explore Antarctica, but what he found was beyond imagination. While conducting aerial reconnaissance, Byrd witnessed something astonishing. Behind the Antarctic ice wall, he saw a stretch of green grass. This mysterious land was named Terra Infinita. What could this mean? A hidden paradise in the frozen wasteland? Or something more sinister that the world isn't ready to know? Admiral Byrd's testimony leaves us with more questions than answers. What did he really see? And why was such a large operation sent to Antarctica? The mysteries of Terra Infinita remain unsolved, fueling endless speculation and wonder. What do you think lies beyond the ice? Let me know in the comments.
I've got a lot to show you about that guy in the next episode.
There are two questions I have to ask.
Go ahead.
The first one's kind of fun. Aliens. I want to talk to you about aliens.
Yeah.
UFOs, UAPs.
I know.
The disclosure we've seen in Congress recently. It's confusing and upsetting a lot of Americans because there's something happening. There are unidentified aerial phenomena in the sky. We don't know what they are. Do you?
So it's such a question I do get a lot, and it's such an interesting question. I've met with pilots that look just like you, actually. Okay, they have more of a crew cut. Okay, they look like him. They look like you. Some of them look like you.
A little fatter.
But these are perfect people, and they're not crazy. Conspiratorial. They're not.
You see, he did that. Compliments them, and then kind of backhandedly tells them that they're being conspiracy theorists. Real smart politician.
Crazy. And they tell me stories that they've seen things that you wouldn't believe. These are not people that you would say, gee, oh, that's
no
okay.
way. President of the United States.
But
I said.
Who is it? That's Joe Biden wanting to do an interview. So I've met with pilots, like beautiful Tom Cruise, but taller.
Yeah.
Okay? Handsome, perfect people. Sir, there was something there that was round in form and going like 4 times faster than my super jet fighter plane. And I look at these guys, and they really mean it.
Yeah.
And am I a believer? No, I can't say I am. But I have met with people that are serious people that say there's some really strange things that they see flying around out there. And you know, if you go to Nevada and you look at that little section of where they go to look at the aliens, where they think all the aliens are landing, that, you know, it's I think it's maybe the #1 tourist attraction in the United States.
Roswell?
Yeah, Roswell. I think it's the #1. The lines of people waiting. You have no idea how many times I'm asked that question.
But don't you have access to that information?
I have access, but then I speak to people about it. I've had actually meetings on it, and they will tell you there's something going on. When they say things are going 4 times faster than my beautiful top-of-the-line airplane that goes, real fast.
With no identifiable.
You're not a believer.
Right?
These things are creating their own gravity fields, allegedly.
Well, they have people that are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out there.
Yeah, he's
It makes
not.
sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that. I just, for some reason, it's not my thing. But a lot of people believe that it's true. A lot of very good, solid people believe it's true.
What? And you
I know there are illegal aliens out there, but those are the ones that come through the border. We have plenty of them. Those are the ones I know.
Yeah,
To have the Space Force, because
he's created a space force, but he doesn't believe in any of that. Why do we need a force? A force against planets? What is that about?
This world is not what you have been told. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not simply just a giant stone structure built by primitive cultures. They've been lying to us. There's significant evidence suggesting that the pyramids were once covered by a flood. The beings who built these structures knew how to harness the Earth's energy and had a profound understanding of the stars. All the pyramids are aligned with the Orion constellation, hinting at their superior astronomical knowledge and their potential in converting celestial energy into usable power. But here's where it gets even crazier. The materials used in the pyramids' construction were no coincidence. The Nile River used to flow much closer to the pyramids than it does today. Satellite imagery and geological studies suggest that ancient channels of the Nile once brought water directly to the base of the pyramids. The pyramid's base is made out of conductive granite blocks that are filled with quartz crystals. The quartz has piezoelectric properties, meaning it is able to generate an electric charge when under pressure. The massive weight of the pyramid creates this constant pressure, therefore producing a continuous electric charge. The Nile's water acted like a hydroelectric dam. Its movement generated electromagnetic energy. Together, water, quartz, and granite were able to produce electricity. The capstones, which are now missing, also played a crucial role in this energy system. They acted as the pyramid's transmitter, collecting and directing the energy produced and possibly transmitting it wirelessly. These were not merely tombs built by slave populations. They were advanced energy machines. Just think about it. Why would a tomb need electricity?
I want to believe that. That's how I see it. But that's it. That's it for today.